Happy Sunday. Well, this is your style appetizer for the week. And this is a very special style appetizer, and I'm recording it on the day of the biggest lunar eclipse in the century, of this century. So in our lifetime, and most probably in our children's and grandchildren's lifetime, there will not be another one like this. And why am I recording a style appetizer when there's about to be this amazing lunar eclipse? Well, let me tell you, there's a whole bunch of reasons why I'm doing this. The first reason is that just like this very special lunar eclipse, which is magnificent, gorgeous, spectacular, seductive, intriguing, powerful, energetic, magnetic, just like this lunar eclipse, which is so one of a kind, so are you. And I want you to remember that. For me, lunar eclipses always have been very powerful from the inside out. You know, I have a very strong connection to the moon. I call her Grandmother Moon, and the moon gives me a lot of strength. I moon bathe, yes. I open a window, I take away the curtains, and then I lie on my bed, and then I moon bathe. And if I can't do it inside, I would rather do it outside, but if I can't do it outside, I do it inside. You know, go into the desert or go by the ocean and moon bathe. So the moon is amazing. Look, the moon can move the oceans, the tide, and we are water. So we're just like the ocean. I mean, we're like 97% water, is something like that. I may not be completely right about that. But the moon has a very strong effect on who we are. So pay attention to the moon. Pay attention to the light of the moon. Pay attention to your connection to light. So this is a bigger conversation. But for now, it's a style appetizer that I invite you to, for this week, to see, what are you eclipsing? Like, what are you hiding? So there's many different levels at which I want to have this conversation with you. It's like there's an eclipse, the sun, the moon. What's hiding behind? What can you bring forth? What happens inside of an eclipse? Like, what happens when I move through my life and I hide? Tonight's eclipse is going to be an hour and something. It's like 108 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes, 48 minutes. If you think about it, in that time, and we won't be able to see it in the northern United States, you can see it in South Africa, and people are flocking to South Africa to be able to see this. But let's go back to the hiding. Let's come back to the eclipsing. Let's come back to, sometimes in our lives, things happen and they come in front of us. Life's happenings, situations, difficulties, challenges. The way life happens, it comes and then it obscures our light. Can you be with it like an eclipse and just wait for it to pass? Can you stay steadfast and strong behind, just like the moon? You know, the moon doesn't say, oh, there's the sun coming in front of me, or the Mars, or the Jupiter, or whatever it is that's eclipsing. I think this time it's the sun. What is it that we do when life hands us these moments? Do we freak out? Do we grasp at straws? What is it that you do? And notice how steadfast the moon is when it knows, because I believe that we can all feel, and the planets and the earth and the rotation and the relationship that we all have to one another, we can feel things that are coming and that are going to be in our way and that might hide us. But how do you do that? What do you do when that happens? How do you do life in moments of eclipses? Do you stay steadfast and strong because you trust yourself and your masterpiece? Or do you freak out? Or do you grasp at ideas? Do you have reactions? Or can you be willing, with conscious anticipation, in the moment, knowing that you're strong and steadfast, and knowing that this too shall pass, that it came to pass, it didn't come to stay. I know that many of you are going through challenging times. I know I am. Always. Life is different. But can you be with life exactly the way it is and exactly the way it isn't? And like I said in my spiritual class the other day, I was in a dentist chair and they were operating on my tooth and ripping open my gums, and I was in complete joy. So the bottom line of our conversation today, can you be with life exactly the way it is and exactly the way it isn't? And can you be in great utmost joy for the moment, even when you're sitting in the dentist's chair? So think about that. Go out and sparkle, be beautiful. Play in your closet, don't forget. Don't get stuck behind that eclipse. Come out and play. I love you guys, and I will see you next week.